All right, what is good, my ninjas? Welcome to the stream. Today I'm going to be talking about what Asian guys need to be focused on in their 20s. And it's because, look, I messed up my 20s. I did everything backwards and it ended up setting me back. And, I just wanted to dedicate this stream to everything I should have done in my 20s so you guys don't make the same mistakes that I did. All right. If you're new here, my name is Rob Based. I'm a dating and relationship coach. I started helping out divorced dads, but now I'm focusing my attention on Asian men. Well, I'm Asian and I know what it's like out there trying to date in the modern world. And so, yeah, I'm going to be streaming live every day for the month of December because I want to put out a catalog of content, basically like a mini course. So you, the Asian guy, can level up your dating IQ and come on this journey with me so we can all level up together. All right. So if you want to get up to speed, you can check out all my previous streams that I did on the channel so you guys can arm yourself with the right knowledge and not make the same mistakes that I did. And a lot of coaches will charge money for this type of information. And, all I ask is that you guys like the video on the way out. That's it. Doesn't cost you a thing. And if you do end up getting some value out of it and it changes your life in some way, make sure to hit that subscribe button as it really does help out the channel. And if you think it'll help out a buddy, tell a friend because it's word of mouth referrals that are going to help me grow this channel a ton as the stuff I talk about isn't really algorithm friendly, so to say. All right. So if I disappear, I'm also streaming live on Rumble, so you can find me there. But with all that, let's get into it. All right. I want to talk about all the things I did in my 20s and regret not doing earlier, as it would have set me up properly for life. It's tough because I didn't have a mentor, and nor did I seek out this type of information until it was kind of too late. You could say I like to live life in the fast lane, and I was a bit too anxious trying to grow up quickly that I didn't slow it down so I can do things properly the right way. And in your 20s, it's ideal to work on things like your business, your career, your physique, and putting in a lot of time with your social life, like i.e., your homies, your boys, okay? The ladies can kind of wait. And I spent all my 20s being a lover boy, so to say. I was constantly in relationships. I was trying to get married quick and have kids and start a family. And I guess because like there was such a constant pressure in the back of my mind, and it was driving me to make really dumb and stupid decisions. And why is this bad? Well, first of all, you're not seasoned enough to understand women on a deep level. Most of you guys don't even know what you're doing. And just like me, you're just watching others or you're watching stupid TikToks and you think you understand relationships when you don't even understand yourself at that age, okay? And that's why I highly urge you guys to focus on everything but women in your 20s. In addition to you not having enough experience with chicks, like your value isn't high enough yet for you to administer frame in your relationships, all right? Something that is extremely important when you get into a relationship with a chick, all right? Only when your value is high enough will a woman fall into your frame naturally. If it's not high enough, she's going to constantly test you and get on your nerves and or find a guy who has a higher value than you so that she can fall into his frame as opposed to yours, okay? And it's because women run laps around men when it comes to this kind of stuff, right? Like they understand the high value man concept way better than you in their 20s, especially if they're like sevens and up, okay? Like why is this so apparent to them? Cuz look, men who have higher value than you are constantly bombarding these women to go out on dates with them. They're taking them out to lavish restaurants, they're taking them to like these exclusive resorts and events and whatever. And if it's not them, then they're living vicariously through their friends who are like nines and tens and that are enjoying this type of lifestyle with other men. And these women are coming back to tell the tale. All right. And so a lot of women hold out for these types of guys. Okay. And they would either pass you up or like they would pass you up and keep you in the friend zone, or they may go out with you, but they're just using you for the meantime. All right. And this is why women prefer older men because it takes longer for guys to acquire the skills and resources to be able to, spend frivolously and woo the woman, right? And so the guys who are in more advantageous positions than you, they're going to be getting the girl. All right? So you're going to be competing with dudes who have more value than you. So in your 20s, you should really be focused on raising your value in all the areas I keep talking about on this channel, right? Like money, muscles, and game. And if women do end up coming into your life, you can't take it too seriously. They're only there to extract resources and set you guys back, all right? So you need to be extremely laser focused in your 20s, right? Like us guys, we don't hit our peak until mid to late 30s anyway, right? That's how long it usually takes for guys to actually hit their stride. And this is the age where you're going to be presented with the most options, both sexually and romantically. You're going to have so many options at that point that you're not going to know what to do with them, because you can literally date girls your age, you can date girls who are 10 years younger. And if you want to have some fun with some MILFs, you can definitely have some fun with some MILFs at that age too, right? Like you have this wide spectrum of women that you can actually, like, you know, have your fun with, or not take these girls so seriously, and then, have other women who are younger, hotter, um more feminine, let's say, that you can take seriously for long-term relationships. So it's worth it to be patient, in my opinion. Okay, like I did everything backwards. I was so focused on getting married and starting a family young that I ended up screwing myself over, and I spent most of my 30s doing what I should have been doing in my 20s. All right. So for those of you guys who don't know my story, I was married, divorced, 2 kids, all before I was 27. Okay. It's not stuff that I recommend anyone go through at that age, but that was my life. All right. Granted, I'm in a much better position now, but I wished I had done this shit earlier, if you guys understand what I'm saying. Okay. And this is why I'm kind of making this stream, because I literally don't want any of you guys making the same mistakes that I did. All right. I'm kind of telling you this as like an older brother who cares for you. If you didn't have an older brother, like, or a mentor or something like this, like, it's hard for you to understand these concepts without having you seen it and other guys like mess up their lives. And, you basically you don't want to touch the stove because it's too hot. And just trust me, I wouldn't steer you guys in the wrong direction. All right. So if you're like super anxious, or you got a lot of pressure from your family or something like that, or maybe you're in a relationship right now and your girl's wondering like, hey, when are we getting married? Like, you have time. Okay, don't get anxious about this stuff, right? Like, don't get married young, don't have kids young, right? And you're definitely overthinking it. Okay, women are on the time clock, not you. Okay, so definitely don't get pressured into situations that you don't want to do in your 20s. All right, so when you're 30 to 35, let's say, you get to be that high value guy that you probably lost your girl to in your 20s, right? So you have time, and women love older men. Okay, it's perfect for you, as you can date these younger women, like I said, who are much more attractive than all the girls that probably curved you in their 20s and they're on their decline in their 30s. All right. Like, we as guys will have the last laugh. We'll always have the last laugh. Okay. Men age like fine wine. Okay. Women age like milk. So in your 20s, you should be in the gym, carving out a gym routine, eating healthy, working on your personal style, even, right? Figuring out what your archetype is and really, living up to that. And you should constantly be focused on, how can I make more money and be financially free? That's the number two thing that you guys should be really focused on, um, outside of the gym. Okay, because like, you need to find your lane in this department as fast as you can. All right, and I can't stress that enough, because like I said, it took me a while to figure out like what the hell I'm gonna do for the rest of my life. Okay, and the sooner you find that out, the better like the faster you get on that journey, and obviously, um, it leads you to, being more financially free down the road. Okay. Another thing that you guys have to pay attention to is your social life. Okay. Your social life needs a lot of attention and time. And that's pretty much the only way you can nurture the relationships around you. Okay. It's time and effort that people appreciate. So in this time, you need to find the ones who are your people, and you got to stick to them like glue. Okay. You got to really try to add value to their lives somehow, and watch how people reciprocate. Okay, like spend time with the ones who nurture the soil as opposed to those who just come and take the fruit. All right, you can see the ones who are like the takers. Okay, and masculinity, true masculinity, is about giving and being generous. Okay, and if you're constantly just taking from your friends and not giving back to them, you're technically a woman. Okay, only women do that. All right, and it's expected for them to do that, not men. Okay, so you as a guy, you really shouldn't. Okay, that's how you lose friends, and no one wants to hang around a taker. Okay, um, so obviously, you got to be discerning of the people around you, right? Some people take advantage of your kindness, and they can actually be a huge detriment to your life. All right, so be aware of those certain types of people because they will backstab you at at any chance that they get. All right, like when it's not cool to hang out with you anymore, they're gone. Okay, and so I say all this because like I can't focus enough. I can't focus my attention to guys in their 20s not messing up their life like I did because you know one wrong relationship, one wrong move, right? It's fine. You have time to heal and fix that shit in your 30s. Okay, what I'm saying is I'm not saying don't date in your 20s. Okay, that'd be foolish of me to say something like that because like you do have to go out there and learn game and learn how females operate. And obviously men have needs, so we need to get our sexual needs out of the way as well too. So what I'm saying is you can date, but don't take it too seriously. Okay, like you can get into relationships and shit, that's fine, but you should never be thinking of marriage until you have all of your ducks in a row, and that usually doesn't come until your 30s, right? So in this time frame in your 20s, let's say, you got to really definitely fine tune your game. Okay, like my recommendation, I always say this, is date multiple women. Okay, get really good at understanding them, knowing how to deal with tough situations, and then letting that cream rise to the top, right? And this is when you should like really try practicing frame control. So like if you ever do get into a relationship, you should just like some guys are afraid of telling their girlfriend like I don't want you on Instagram, right? Like some guys are really afraid of telling their woman like I don't want you hanging out with this guy. And so this is the time you should really try practicing that with the girls that you date, right? Because you want to weed out the girls who are going to be in your frame versus the girls who are not going to be in your frame, and they're going to constantly fight you. They're just disagreeing with you every chance you get. They're constantly shit testing you and all this other crap. Like in order for you to administer good frame, you have to practice, and you're not going to be able to do that unless you have some of this under your belt. Okay, and you have to get really good at communicating, okay, for you to properly be able to do this correctly. And part of being like very good, like a very good communicator, is not letting your emotions get the best of you. So you can't be using anger to hurl at them in order to like like get in line, bitch, like you know what I mean. Like you can't be like that. You just got to be like, look, I have a boundary, and I don't want my girls hanging out with this like dudes like one-on-one at night, right, or at their house, let's say. And if that's you, I'm not going to stop you, but like look, if you cross that boundary, I can't be with you for the long term. All right, and so if you can't say things like that without getting angry, then you're not communicating properly. Okay, so you have to be able to do that correctly in order for her to fall into your frame. You're not trying to control her. You're just saying, look, these are my boundaries. If anyone wants to cross them, we're probably not going to be a fit for the long run. All right. And it's kind of like insinuating, like, hey, there's the door if you want to continue to do this. Okay. So that's really all I have to say about that. Really embrace some of the things that you do terribly wrong. Okay, because it's not the end of the world. Like I said, you have plenty of time and opportunity to kind of redeem yourself later on. So another thing that I'm just going to add here is you really need to understand the abundance mindset. Okay, and that one girl isn't the be all end all to everything. Okay, and it doesn't matter how good she is in bed or how good she is with you or whatever. Like never pedestalize a woman over everything you got going. Okay, like don't be that guy. Don't be a simp. Okay, don't be those guys holding their purses. Don't be those guys buying them flowers for no reason. Like, look, if anything, learn to accept gifts from her. Okay, a woman who wants to show you that she can invest back into you is a good girl. So don't be shy when she wants to pay sometimes or whatever, or buy you nice things in return. Like, that's a good girl. Okay. um so yeah, abundance mindset and don't simp. All right, ninjas. I'm not really gonna beat this dead horse too much. I want to remind you guys that you have a lot of time. 10 years is a lot of time. All right. And if you're in your 20s, it's really not ideal to be focused on starting a family and getting married. Okay. Like, you should really just focus on being the best man that you can possibly be, so that your future self can thank you for not doing anything stupid. Okay. Like, you guys have no idea how much uh, time I wasted and how much regret I had going through all this shit. Okay. So don't be like me. Don't put yourself through the ringer for unnecessary shit, especially like females. Okay. They come, they go, right? There's good ones, there's bad ones, and there's always going to be more down the line later. All right. All right, ninja. So if you got some value out of this, make sure to hit the like button on the way out. I'll see you guys back here, same bad time, same bad channel. I'm trying to keep these streams like somewhat time efficient. Okay, so you guys can go through this stuff really quickly, because in the new year I'm going to be, streaming live topics, like live reactions to topics that, are relevant and stuff like that I want to talk about, so that we can really understand intergender dynamics, that like to an nth degree. Okay, so that we can become more aware of all the things that these women do that can definitely ruin our life. Okay, so you don't want, like I said, you don't want to be making those mistakes like I did. Okay, you really want to have a firm grasp of these bitches. All right, guys. Rob Based, we out. See you guys tomorrow. Peace.